Namaskar, welcome to Sitaro Ki Duniya. Today we will talk about why we do certain things in Hindu religion. Why do we tie moli on the wrist during puja? During every puja, tying moli or Raksha Sutra, a red thread on the wrist, is considered important. It is believed that tying moli invites the blessings of three devas, Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh, and three devis, Saraswati, Lakshmi and Parvati. The person who ties this red thread around her wrist gets fame from Brahma, power from Vishnu, and Lord Shiva delivers her from evil. Similarly, that person gets intellect from Saraswati, wealth from Lakshmi, and power from Parvati. Scientifically, tying moli around the wrist cures the person of problems of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Why is Pran Pratishtha important before an idol becomes a deity? Pran Pratishtha means infusing life into an idol. Without breath, Pran, a human body, is nothing. Similarly, an idol is a piece of metal, wood, or stone until life is infused into it. This is done through a detailed ceremony by chanting mantras, requesting God to reside in the idol. Once this is done, the idol becomes deity. Therefore, it must be baked, clothed, given ornaments, food, incense, sticks, and articles of prayer, followed by aarti in the morning and evening. Why are there 108 beads in a rosary? 100 beads are stringed together to make a rosary because it is related to the frequency of our breath. In 24 hours, one breathes 21,600 times. 12 hours are spent in the daily routine. That leaves us 12 hours for devotion to God. This means that each day 10,800 times breathing should be utilized for devotion to God. However, since this is not practical, the two zeros have been removed. Therefore, breathing 108 times is appropriate during prayers. The second explanation is based upon astrology. The entire universe is divided into 12 segments, each represent a sign of the zodiac. In Hindu religious texts, there are principally Navgraha, 9 planets that affect us. With 12 segments and 9 planets, when the two are multiplied, we get the figure of 108. Therefore, the number 108 represents the universe and controls our success. As per another explanation, Hindu sages located 27 constellations, each of 27 stars, since each constellation has 4 steps. 27 multiplied by 4 is 108. This number exudes purity. Why left or right sitting for wife? Because heart is situated on the left side and it is dedicated to wife through chanting of mantras. Symbiologically, this is the reason why the wife is seated on the left side. A wife sits on her husband's left side at the time of donating Varmilan, Sindoor, making a re-entry after marriage, or Gona, taking meals, and while serving at the time of seeking blessings, wearing clothes, rinsing feet of the Brahmins. At the time of marriage of her daughter, installation, sacrificial and other religious rites, the wife should sit on right side of her husband. Similarly, the wife and the son should remain on the right side at the time of performing ceremony on the birth and at Naam of the child, while consuming food and making an exit. Why do Hindus ring a bell when they enter a temple? Temples where bells keep ringing are ones where the deities are awake to the call of devotees. Bells are hung at the entry of the temple and rung to inform the deity of the devotee's arrival. The use of bells during Aarti is to tell all those living nearby that it is time for prayer. During prayers and Aarti, both at sunrise and sunset, all kinds of bells, small and big, are used. Between them, a definite beat and rhythm is employed for greater effectiveness. It is believed that the ringing of bells arouses the divinity within deities into which life has been infused. If bells are not used, there is the likelihood that the deity may in meditation and the prayers or offering may not be accepted. It is also believed that the sound of bells protect one from harmful effect of problems. According to Skand Puran, the ringing of temple bells absolves man from sins committed over 100 births. Mankind was created in the presence of a musical sound. The same sound is generated when a temple bell rings. The same musical sound is generated when one chants Om. It is significant that the bull Nandi is considered symbolic of the same musical sound. When taking a dead body for cremation, one rings the bell. It is believed that when this world ends, there will be a similar sounds of ringing of bells. Why should one rise early in the morning? It is believed that between 12 midnight and 4 am, the influence of demons and evil people is powerful. From 4 am onwards, divine powers take over. This period is known as Brahm Muhurat. The literal translation of these two words is Brahm for Brahma and Muhurat denotes the auspicious moment to begin or to do something. However, the religious texts indicate that the word Brahm refers to Brahmi or Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge. For this reason, since ancient times, young students were taught the Vedas early in the morning. Devotees and the learned particularly, many elderly people rise early and finish the morning routine when others are still sleeping. Ayurveda has specified the time from 4 am to 5:30 am as the Brahma Muhurat. It is believed the cool morning air has rays of the moon penetrating, which is good for health and like celestial nectar. This air is particularly rich in oxygen and promotes peace, happiness, contentment. With the sun rising, the level of pollution increases. The period of Brahm Muhurat is particularly good for mental activities like offering prayers, meditation, yoga, studying, thinking and planning. In the serene morning atmosphere, it is easier to concentrate on tasks. Most creative work in almost all fields is completed at this time of the day. In the Rig Veda, it is said, those who get up before sunrise are endowed with good health. The wise never let this time go waste. Those who rise early are robust, healthy, strong, brave and long-lived. In the Atharvaveda, it is said, those who do not wake up at sunrise lose their glow and splendor. Why is a kalash seen at all Hindu religious ceremonies? When conducting religious ceremonies, a kalash water pot takes the pride of place amongst other paraphernalia. It is mostly made of copper. Other metals used are brass or stainless steel. The kalash is filled with water and the top is closed by placing a coconut tied in a red cloth along with mango leaves. At the end of the ceremony, the water is used as charnamrit and also sprinkled around the home. It is believed to bring good fortune. A kalash is considered auspicious because the Hindu triad Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh reside in it along with their consorts Saraswati, Lakshmi and Durga. During the churning of the ocean, Amrit, celestial nectar, was found in a kalash. It is believed that Sita emerged from a kalash in Mother Earth. In older temples, a common scene is that of Lakshmi seated on a lotus and two elephants on either side, offering water for a bath from a kalash held in the tusk. In the Rig Veda, it is said a kalash filled with pure water is offered to Lord Indra. In the Ramayana, it is said, when Ram returned to Ayodhya after victory in Lanka, at his coronation lines of kalash filled with water were placed. In Atharvaveda, it is said that with the blessing of Surya, mankind is prospering and enjoying good life since time immemorial. as though with an urn full of celestial nectar. One also prays to Varun so that the Kalash may be symbolic of the grandeur of the ocean. Human life has been compared to an earthen pot filled with water, which is symbolic of life, just as the body is useless or inauspicious without life. An empty Kalash is considered inauspicious. Therefore, in any ceremony, it is always filled with water, milk, or grains to make it auspicious. On death, an earthen pot filled with water is taken around the dead body, the water allowed to drain away, and the earthen pot then destroyed. In the Devi Puran, it is explained that the beginning of a prayer to Ma Bhagavati, one must first fill a Kalash with water and appropriately establish it. During Navratri, prayers are conducted in many Hindu homes, and a Kalash is an important part of the setup. Swastika, an auspicious mark. Why do Hindus use the swastika on auspicious occasions? The swastika is a benedictory or auspicious mark in the form of a cross, the four arms of which are bent at right angles. Besides Hindus, other communities and religions also consider this mark auspicious. It is therefore customary to make this mark before any auspicious ceremony or function. In the Ganesh Puran, it is said that the swastika is a form of Lord Ganesha. It is necessary that this be made before beginning any auspicious work. It has the power to remove all obstacles. Those who ignore it may fail. It is therefore customary to make all beginnings with the swastika. The swastika is also known as Satya, which is a symbolic of Sudarshan Chakra. People also consider it as a symbol of denoting plus. That makes it a symbol of prosperity. The four dots around the swastika are symbolic of the four directions around us. Religious texts explain that the 8 arms of the swastika are symbolic of the earth, fire, water, air, sky, mind, emotions, and feelings. The 4 main arms point in 4 directions. They represent the 4 eras: Satyug, Treta Yug, Dwapar Yug, and Kali Yug. They also represent the 4 castes: Brahmins, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. They represent the 4 ashrams of the life too: Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanprastha, and Sannyas. The 4 arms are also symbolic of the 4 basic aims of human pursuits: dharma, righteousness; earth, prosperity; calm, passion; and moksha, salvation. They are also symbolic of the 4 faces and 4 heads of Brahma and of 4 Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajur-Veda, Sam-Veda, and Atharva-Veda. They are also symbolic of the 4 constellations: Pushya, 8th; Chitra, 14th; Shravan, 22nd; and Revati, 27th. In one of the hymns in the Rig Veda, it is said that the swastika is symbolic of Surya, sun. In the Amar Kosh, it is referred to as a pure and auspicious blessing. In this way, the swastika is really symbolic of all the directions and of gods and auspicious circumstances. One must appreciate its importance and adopt it as a part of everyday life. Thank you for watching Sitara Ki Duniya. Stay tuned for more.
जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते